Okay, so before I start the video, don't join the mafia. If you need money, just start a lemonade stand or something. We live in a capitalist country, depending on where you're watching this right now or where you live. And if you have a skill, it's probably profitable. There's a lot of alternatives that don't include the harm of innocence. And also, chances are there's an adult watching this video right now. So just to clarify, this video is to educate and keep people safe. Don't get any ideas, kids. So, level 1, pickpocket. As their name suggests, they just steal stuff out of your pockets when you're not looking. They rely on huge crowds of people so as not to be seen and stealth. One person told a story where they felt somebody taking their phone out of their pocket, so they just held their hand out and very firmly said phone. And the pickpocketer just gave it back. So this shows that they have nothing to fall back on. If they get caught, they can either run and have a good chance of getting arrested and facing charges, or give the thing they stole back and hope the person doesn't call the police on them. And the most deadly thing they can do is steal. So don't put yourself out as rich, or they know they can target you. And also don't carry around like physical cash, just like, I don't know, credit card or your phone as money. Level 2, Mugger. Unlike pickpockets, their name does not suggest what they do. They have nothing to do with mugs, and they use darkness as a cover instead of large crowds. Muggers are robbers, but they want you to see them, and only you. Usually working in groups of 2 to 6, they are armed and will threaten you with a weapon, which they don't want to use, but if you aren't willing to give them money, then they will. In this case, the best route is prevention. Don't brag about money, but if they target you anyways, don't walk alone or at night or in shady parts of town. And also, if they do target you somehow, just don't try to fight them. Just give them the money, because your life is worth more than any cash you have on you at the moment. Besides, you can get it back if you call the police. And side note, armed robbers are similar. Basically, they just mug you in your own house where all of your possessions are. So, level 3, Mafia. They're much harder to evade and more dangerous because of strength in numbers, and they're basically like a giant criminal network of muggers, and they're so big the police are already aware of them but can't really do anything about it. A mugger can go up to a person and demand $500, but if the victim manages to get away somehow, then the muggers can't really do much about it. However, a mafia boss will go up to a person, and anyone has a good chance of being a victim, and tell the person to give them $10,000 by the end of the month, and then walk away. And the $10,000 is still guaranteed, because if the person doesn't pay, then someone else is probably going to kill them. Other crimes that are committed by the mafia include, but are not limited to, kidnapping, rigged bets, threatening, and good old-fashioned family fun. And anything you value, like prized possessions, loved ones, and your life can be used for leverage, and therefore the mafia can get money out of it. How do you avoid being a victim? It's really hard to topple an entire deeply rooted criminal organization whose resources are spread across the globe, which is basically impossible if you have no experience, so do your research before moving to a new city or a crime-infested area. Again, don't make yourself a target, because logically they'd want to target a rich person who would be more likely to give them large sums of money. So an outlier from the trend of robbers with weapons are con artists, or like con men, who won't physically cause you any harm. Con man is short for confidence man, and there are 2 types of con artists. One is called a forger. What does a forger do, you ask? So what art do you have for me today, huh? Oh, well, this is a secret art piece by Rasputin's secret brother, Castor Bean, who's supposed to be magic like the famed witch doctor himself. And he tragically died at the age of 17, so his artwork is super rare, and he is definitely a real person and not just somebody I made up to sell you this art piece. Oh, nice. Take all my money. My rich friends are going to be so impressed. So yeah, they don't really hurt you. They sell fake things, including but not limited to art, jewelry, and ancient artifacts and such. They usually work alone or with a couple of other middlemen, maybe like a professional consultant in whatever area they're forging. It really depends, and honestly, I kind of feel bad for them. Like, they put in all that effort in creating that artwork unless somebody else actually made the art and they're just the middleman, and the only reason people will buy it is if another person was credited with its creation. Even something like a fake ancient artifact, it would make for a cool art piece or set piece or something. They do deserve at least some money for their efforts, and if it's something like jewelry, the rich person probably had it coming if they were assigning value to like a shiny rock that looks exactly like another shiny rock, except it's heavier, like diamond and cubic zirconia. And if you buy an ancient art piece or like an ancient relic, consult a professional before doing so. Scammers may put in a lot of work into their illegal jobs, but you probably want to get your money's worth in an object, but still pay the poor dude for their efforts, of course. So the second kind of con artist is much, much more malicious. They won't physically harm anyone, but will lie and take advantage of someone's emotional vulnerability and their flaws or past experiences for money. For example, if someone's relative has died to cancer, a con artist might tell the person that their relative has died to cancer, and if they spin the story well enough, and believe me, they've practiced in convincing people, then the person will believe them and will be convinced. Worse, contacting an authority to get that money back might not work because the person has willingly given the con artist money. And if the con artist covers up their tracks well enough, the person has no proof of the con artist lying. And the con artist can twist the situation to blame the victim instead. And that's if they find out the con artist was lying in the first place. And another serious side note, never ever emotionally manipulate someone at all. It's worse than robbery, and to a certain extent, even murder, and there will probably never be a situation that I can think of that it would be necessary to. Even if there was a person who truly deserved it, justice can be served in other ways, and they're probably smart enough not to fall for it. So, and on that very cheerful note, that's it for today's video. So you don't have to subscribe, but make sure to share this with your friends and family so we can expand our content. And also this summer, I may or may not have a microphone to just record me talking, and I won't have a recording face device, so I'll probably just be using stock clips and subtitles on FlexClip. So that's me. If there's just gonna be videos like that during the summer. So anyways, goodbye everybody.